The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zexthai's tentacles writhed in barely contained rage. For 3 standard cycles, the Korthak Empire had systematically conquered 17 worlds, each victory more brutal than the last. Their crimson ships swept through star systems like a plague, leaving nothing but ash and despair in their wake. "The Outer Rim colonies are gone," reported Counselor Vela, her crystalline form flickering with distress. "Kepler 442b fell yesterday. The Korthak didn't even bother with orbital bombardment. They simply released their bioweapons and watched the population dissolve." The assembled representatives from dozens of species shifted uncomfortably. The ethereal collective's representative phased in and out of visibility nervously. The proud Zentari warriors, despite their reputation for combat prowess, had retreated to their fortress worlds after losing 3 fleets to the Korthak's superior technology. "We've tried everything," growled General Thrix, his scales darkening with frustration. "Our combined fleets can't match their adaptive shielding. Their weapons cut through our hulls like they're made of paper, and those creatures they deploy." He shuddered, remembering the reports of Korthak shock troops that seemed immune to conventional weapons. Ambassador Zexthai raised a primary appendage for silence. "There is one option we have not yet considered." The chamber erupted in concerned murmurs. Counselor Vela's light pulsed rapidly. "You can't seriously be suggesting—" "The Terrans," Zexthai continued, ignoring the gasps that echoed through the vast chamber. "Humanity. They've been in cryogenic suspension for over 2 centuries, protested the Aquarian delegate, her gills fluttering anxiously. "We voted to contain them after the Titan incident. They're too unpredictable. Too violent," added another voice. "Too creative with destruction," whispered a third. Zexthai's ancient eyes surveyed the room. And yet they never lost a war. The silence that followed was deafening. Every species in the council remembered the stories passed down through generations, tales of human ingenuity, their refusal to surrender, their ability to turn the most desperate situations into victory. But they also remembered why humanity had agreed to enter voluntary stasis. Their methods had become too extreme, too frightening even for wartime. "The hibernation ship Resilience is still in orbit around Luna," Zexthai said quietly. 10,000 of their finest soldiers, scientists and strategists, waiting in dreamless sleep. "The containment protocols," began Counselor Vela, "will be lifted by majority vote in emergency session," Zexthai interrupted, "unless you prefer to watch the Korthak Empire reduce every civilized world to radioactive slag." 3 hours later, the vote was unanimous. The medical bay of the hibernation ship Resilience hummed with activity as automated systems began the delicate process of revival. Steam hissed from dozens of cryochambers as the first pods began to cycle through their warming sequences. Commander Ryan Mitchell was among the first to wake. His enhanced physiology processed the revival drugs quickly, and his augmented eyes snapped open with startling clarity. The neural interface in his skull immediately began downloading situational updates, 2 centuries of compressed data flooding his consciousness in mere seconds. "Status report," he said, his voice rough from disuse but commanding nonetheless. "Coming online now, sir," responded Dr. Emma Chen, the expedition's chief xenobiologist, as she emerged from her own chamber with the fluid grace of someone accustomed to adapting to new environments. Her dark eyes quickly scanned the readouts on nearby monitors. Full revival completion estimated at 6 hours. All primary systems functional. Ryan sat up, his enhanced muscles already responding despite the long hibernation. "Fill me in on our friends out there." Emma's expression darkened as she accessed the downloaded intelligence reports. "The Korthak Empire, technologically superior to anything in the current council fleet. Bioweapons that make our old viral programs look like children's toys. Adaptive technology that learns and counters enemy tactics in real time." She paused, studying a holographic display. "They've conquered 17 worlds in 3 cycles. No survivors. Weaknesses. Unknown. The council fleets never lasted long enough to gather useful intelligence." Emma pulled up tactical analyses. "Their ships appear to use some form of living metal that can reconfigure itself. Their soldiers are cybernetically enhanced to the point where they're more machine than organic." Ryan stood, stretching muscles that had been dormant for 2 centuries. Around them, more cryochambers were opening, releasing the finest warriors and minds humanity had ever produced. Each face that emerged bore the same expression: cold determination mixed with anticipation. "Sir," called Lieutenant Torres from across the bay, his cybernetic implants glowing as he interfaced with the ship's systems. "We're receiving a priority transmission from the Council." The holographic image of Ambassador Zexatai materialized before them. The alien's usually composed demeanor was cracked with desperation. "Humans of Terra, forgive the abrupt awakening. Our situation is dire." Ryan stepped forward. "We've been briefed. The Korthak Empire. Yes, they're currently massing for an assault on the core worlds. We estimate 3 standard days before they reach Council Prime." Zexthai's tentacles writhed. "Our combined fleets are insufficient." Dr. Chen moved beside Ryan, her scientific mind already working through possibilities. "We'll need complete technical specifications on Korthak technology, biological samples if available, and tactical recordings of every engagement." "Of course. But Commander Mitchell," Zexthai's voice carried a note of uncertainty, "the Council wishes to emphasize the need for restraint, proportional response." The silence in the medical bay was profound. Ryan's augmented features remained impassive, but Emma caught the slight twitch at the corner of his mouth, an expression she recognized from their old campaigns. "Ambassador," Ryan said finally, his voice carrying the weight of humanity's military history, "you woke us up because your enemies are too strong, too advanced, and too ruthless for conventional warfare." He paused, letting the implications sink in. "Don't insult us by asking for restraint." Around them, the last of the cryo chambers were opening. Elite soldiers, brilliant scientists, strategic minds forged in humanity's most desperate conflicts. Each one carried genetic modifications, cybernetic enhancements, and psychological conditioning that made them humanity's ultimate weapons. Emma stepped forward, her scientific curiosity already sparked by the challenge. "We'll need a forward laboratory, preferably on a ship with stealth capabilities. And Ryan..." She turned to the commander with a smile that had once terrified enemy negotiators. "We'll need specimens." Ryan nodded, then addressed the ship's communication system. "All personnel, this is Commander Mitchell. Full tactical briefing in 1 hour. Combat deployment begins immediately thereafter." He looked directly at Zexthai's holographic form. "Ambassador, inform the Council that humanity is returning to active duty. The Korthak Empire is about to learn why the galaxy decided we were too dangerous to remain awake." As the transmission ended, the sounds of preparation filled the ship. Weapons were being checked, armor fitted, and minds focused on the task ahead. Humanity was waking up, and the galaxy was about to remember why they had been so afraid.